It is an extraordinary thing to be proved right so comprehensively. The Molotov cocktail that is Donald Trump has exploded with full force in the ranks of the soy progressives, the liberals everywhere. The preferential pronouns brigade have been butchered at the butcher's block of the electorate in the United States of America. And the meltdown is spectacular. Der Spiegel, yes, Der Spiegel of Germany has anointed Ursula von der Leyen as the leader of the free world, or what's left of it, as they say. This is Trump derangement syndrome on a monumental scale. It's not that Donald Trump's policies are alien to them, certainly not Der Spiegel if you know anything about their history. It is his vulgarity, it is his roughness, it is his brutishness that is the bone that sticks in their throat. They want blood, they want war. They want the working class to be driven into the ground. They want the rich and already comfortable to be richer and more comfortable still. All the things that the Republican Party traditionally stands for. But they want it described with a certain finesse, and nowadays they want it to be painted in rainbow colors. I saw a black woman from the Democratic Party strategy group in the middle of the night on Al Jazeera saying, "I need you to hear me. We consider Donald Trump to be racist, sexist, misogynist, and homophobic." This from a factotum of an administration which has murdered hundreds of thousands of women and children over the last 12 months in Gaza. They were only Arabs. How's that for racism? They were only Arab women and children. How's that for sexism and misogyny? And as to their sexual preferences, who cares? Only you, Democrats, care. The fact is, the administration of Biden and Harris, which crashed and burned through the night last night in a spectacular worthy of Elon Musk, it is over for them, as it is over for such people all over the Western world. Mark my words, only 1 in 3 British voters voted for Keir Starmer. Only 1 in 5 of all British voters voted for Keir Starmer. He'll have to sack Idi Amin Lami, Big Dada. You'll have to dismiss him now because Britain's Foreign Secretary called the new President of the United States a supporter of the Ku Klux Klan and a Nazi. Clearly, the special relationship cannot survive it. The Rachel Maddows, the Mehdi Hassans, the liberals in the networks and in the leader columns of the fancy newspapers don't know what's hit them. And that is the problem. Their bubble, you see, is entirely sufficient for them. They feed off each other. They talk to each other. They reinforce each other's personal prejudices. They kept telling you that Kamala was the candidate for women, but most women voted Trump, and overwhelmingly so in the case of white women. They kept telling you that women in America cared more about abortion than they did about the price of milk and eggs and housing and gasoline. They really believed that. But women in America need eggs and milk more often than they need an abortion. This rabid preoccupation with liberal nostrums, with a dogma more dogmatic than any of the Holy Roman Catholic and Apostolic Church. The dogma of liberalism is what has done them. They don't understand that the vast majority of people out there in America, in Europe, all over the Western world, the vast majority of people don't give a toss about all that. They're interested in their lives. It's the economy, stupid. It's the culture, stupid. It's the sense of being secure and part of your own country and not despised and reviled by the people who rule you. Kamala Harris, like Hillary Clinton before her, showed it all over again and again and again. Latterly, by not showing up to her scheduled speech at Brown University, or Howard University rather, in the United States, where thousands of her supporters were waiting for her. She took to her bed like Hillary Clinton did before her. Not a good look, that, for those telling us we need a woman president. It would be marvelous to have a woman president, but not a woman president who's an idiot. That would actually set women back. That's what most women calculated. They said that Trump was a KKK member. They said that Trump was a Nazi. They said that Trump was Hitler. But his share of the vote amongst black people, amongst Latinos, amongst Asians, amongst other ethnicities has vaulted forward in the case of Latinos almost to parity. When Latinos used to vote 80 to 90% for the Democratic Party. And they thought that they could murder thousands of people, tens, scores of thousands of people in Lebanon and in Gaza, and still expect young people, much motivated by the justice of the Palestinian cause, still enthusiastically to vote for them. They thought they could get Iraqi Americans to vote for a party whose leading proponent in the last few days of the campaign was the daughter of Dick Cheney, who murdered 1 million Iraqis in 2003 and beyond. The insanity of this political class. Rory Stewart, I know, who even remembers the guy? But you'll find his books in the bookshops. You'll find him on the screen. You'll find him paid thousands of pounds as a pundit, though he's a blithering idiot as a pundit. Everything he predicts turns out to be wrong. And the war criminal, Alistair Campbell, what a gruesome twosome. They were on the television all through the night, predicting wrongly state after state after state, because these people are not journalists, they are not broadcasters, they are political activists who confuse what it is they want with what is actually going to happen, what is happening on the ground. This was, above all, a revolt of the American working class. One of the great gains of this campaign is the abandonment of this ludicrous term, middle class, to describe blue-collar union labor in the United States of America. Suddenly everyone is talking about the working class in America. It is the working class in America, of all colors, that has been peniorized, has been anathematized, slandered and smeared as ignorant, as illiterate, as lacking in the social graces, as garbage, as deplorables. It's the working class what done it for Donald Trump, and he better not disappoint them. If Donald Trump picks the monsters from the swamp like he did last time and puts them in charge of vital areas of America's national life, his administration will fail. If he genuinely puts America first, he will succeed. He will make America great again. I say this with all love to the American people. Stay home and fix house. Get your soldiers out of Syria. Get your soldiers out of Iraq. Get your material, men, money, and diplomatic support out of Ukraine. Get out from under the mass murderer Benjamin Netanyahu. Go home, America. I say it with love. Go home, America. Yankee, go home and fix your own country. Fix your roads. Fix your bridges. Fix your railways. Fix your housing stock. Fix the living standards of your own people. Fix the racial and other divides amongst your countrymen and women. Heal yourselves, physician, before seeking to heal the rest of us. We love you, but we don't need you. We don't want to be you. We won't agree to be ruled by you. And that's in your interest to heed this call. Heaven knows God blessed America. Heaven knows from sea to shining sea, you have been blessed with everything that nature can bestow. Use it. Use it for good, for the good of your own people. First and foremost. Put America first, Mr. Trump. Keep the neocon, reocon, retread, recycled, George Bush, warmongering, genocide-loving, Elliot Abrams, John Bolton, Mike Pompeo, to the garbage can with them. Give RFK Jr. the power to tackle Big Pharma. Give Tulsi Gabbard the power to pursue at least a remotely ethical foreign policy. Clean house, clean the Augean stable of all these criminals that hunted you. This is the greatest comeback since the rumble in the jungle, since Muhammad Ali shuffled and flattened the big ugly bear George Foreman, though Kamala Harris will never make a living selling barbecue sets after this. Matter of fact, she can go back to finally working in McDonald's, where she never worked all along. She can go back to being an Indian. She can drop her kaleidoscope of accents. A Southern belle here, down with the kids in the ghetto there. She can stop pretending all the identity politics mess that she has draped herself in throughout her career and throughout this electoral campaign. This comeback of yours, Donald Trump, gives you an enormous mandate. And you can't run again. You don't need to do anything to please these special interests, these lobbyists that will now be swarming around you, as earlier they were swarming to destroy you. President Trump, you have 4 years to make America genuinely a shining city on a hill. You'll be greatly helped by the mass exodus of all of those that promised they were leaving the country. Bono was going to leave life. He's going to drive a car off a cliff. Hundreds are gathering at cliff tops all over the country, waiting for him to show up and keep his promise. Tom Hanks is going to take a one-way ticket to Canada. Me and Gayatri are on our way to America in January. Maybe we'll live there for a little while. Make America the freest country in the world. Heaven knows that actually won't be that difficult. It might be easier for me to live in America and work in America. Imagine that. Starmer, Macron, Schultz, Baerbock, You're not the leaders of the free world. You're the leaders of the imprisoned world. The imprisoned people of Western European countries are going to rise up like the American working class has just risen up. You are going to be swept away. And while we wait for that, thanks to Trump and Carlson and Musk and those who at least recognize the meaning of the First Amendment and why it is the First Amendment, because all other freedoms depend upon the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Take a bow, Elon Musk. This would not have happened if you had not liberated Twitter from the CIA, FBI, DOJ, White House nexus, which controlled it with a fist around its neck. It is true that Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, X, Max Blumenthal, Gerald Celente, me, the mother of all talk shows, we are the media now. All these discredited, weeping husks that you see literally wearing black in mourning today on the American television show The View. Some of them literally weeping on camera. They didn't get their way. They're not used to that. They're used to being able to terrorize the rest of us into silence and compliance. They are used to being able to insist. Well, in the early hours of this morning, they got their comeuppance. I was up for Pennsylvania. Were you? As a matter of fact, I haven't yet been to bed. So if I seem unduly light-hearted, unduly light-minded even, it's because I have just watched the worst people on the earth, the worst people on the earth, having to eat their bitter but just desserts. It is the mother of all talk shows. You want to stay tuned. I'll be right back.